we've reached the penultimate season of Cheers, and I guess that's bittersweet because it means the next time I discuss Cheers after this, it will be the final season. Season 10 I really like. I know I say that about every Cheers season, but there are a few things in this that I thought were a step up from the usual character developments, particularly with Lilith and with Sam and Rebecca, especially Sam and Rebecca. I will, of course, talk about that. So there will be probably some spoilers in this if you haven't seen season 10 yet, but I will not. I will do my best to not spoil anything from season 11. There shouldn't be any need for me to mention season 11 in any great detail. Season 10 actually aired in 1991 until 1992, the year I was born, so maybe that's why this one particularly has a soft spot for me, or I have a soft spot for it. The show doesn't particularly love me very much. Unfortunately, it didn't air on my birthday, but that's irrelevant. The bulk of this episode with Sam and Rebecca focuses on them considering and then really quite deciding to have a child together. They're both getting on in years, they both want to be parents, maybe not as a romantic couple, but they can, people raise a child all the time when they're not together. Why should it be any different for them? So a lot of the series, but primarily the first episode, Baby Talk, they're exploring this concept. And I think it's pretty interesting because there are a lot of different opinions from different people throughout the season as to whether or not they should go ahead with this. And I can't decide. If they have the baby, will it be a good thing? I think Rebecca would make an amazing mother and Sam would certainly make an amazing father. But should they have a baby knowing the child won't be raised by both parents in the same household? I come from a broken household. Many people do. It doesn't necessarily mean the child will not be raised well. But should they start out with that intention? I can't make up my mind. I'd love to know your thoughts on whether or not you think Sam and Rebecca were discussing this for the right reasons. But I love the kind of the running theme that goes through it. Madame LaCarla I particularly liked, where Carla becomes the psychic. Throughout the previous seasons, Carla has hinted quite a lot at her level of superstitions and the fact that she does believe in the afterlife and psychics. I think this is a great twist to her personality when we see her stepping up and kind of engaging with people in different ways, because obviously Carla's very standoffish. If you're going to become a psychic, you need to not be standoffish. I really, really enjoyed that a lot. Norm's relationship with Lilith, and I've been watching too much Kimmy Schmidt, with Lilith and Frasier when he ends up having to stay there. I love Norm. Norm never gets any juicy episodes, apart from that one where he is questioning, I can't say that word, where he is contemplating a lack of fidelity with Vera. I won't say any more in case you haven't seen the previous seasons, but apart from that one, and maybe a couple regarding employment and what he wants from his career, Norm never really gets the meat, deeply ironically. But with the Norm who came to dinner, definitely not the case. I really thoroughly enjoyed that one a lot. With Sam and Rebecca babysitting Carla's children, pretty great. It's very rare that we get to see most, if not all, of Carla's children in one place at one time. Quite frankly, I've lost count by this point as to how many children they have, but I found that to be a lot of fun. We have Bar Wars 5 and also Bar Wars 6 as part of this. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bar Wars episodes. I just feel like they milked it for more than it was worth. Fine in the beginning when it was fresh and exciting, but by this stage I've lost all emotional investment for the Bar Wars. Episode 8, Where Have All the Floorboards Gone? I loved. There is an aspect of this that I didn't get. It actually features Celtic's Kevin McHale. Who is that? I have no idea, because I know nothing about the Celtics, to be perfectly honest. But the fact that he becomes obsessed with these floorboards or the bolts in them, I just thought was such a simple concept and executed so well. It amused me an awful lot. Interestingly, episode 9 is actually directed by John Ratzenberger. This is Head Over Hill, and the episode itself is pretty interesting. We have an interesting character development with Carla I won't say any more than that, even though I said there might be spoilers in this, but actually I really like this one, and the character of John Allen Hill and how we get to know him more. Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. No Rest for Woody with the grave digging, I thought was an interesting decision. His relationship with Kelly begins to be quite interesting. I start to become emotionally invested in it at about this time, because up until this point I've never really liked Kelly. But if she makes Woody happy, great. One hugs, the other doesn't. Emma Thompson is Nanny G. I absolutely love her. Before watching this episode, I had actually seen Nanny G in Frasier, not played by Emma Thompson. I had no idea Emma Thompson was going to be in this. I was over the moon, ridiculously ecstatic, absolutely, just ridiculously happy with that. Lilith and her mother, their relationship, getting to see that with the renewal of the vows. This I really liked for Lilith's character development, particularly when you go on to watch Frasier and you look back at this episode, her relationship with her mother. I think it's very interesting, and something that could be explored to quite an interesting extent. I really love this. I love this series. I don't have any other thoughts on the episodes. I won't talk about the final episode just to keep the spoilers down to some degree. But season 10 is an absolute delight. So many things in this that I love. Definitely propelling us towards the finale. This is the final season, which I will be very emotionally happy to talk about. But this one I love. Everybody is on top form. Brilliant character development. Some interesting character journey for Carla. I really love it. Absolutely fantastic season.